Welcome to Yan Can Cook. Thank you so much for coming today. I know that everybody is busy, busy, busy. I'm so busy myself that I never have the time to buy a watch. See? When I tell you I don't have the time, I mean it. Honest. Now, for all those busy people, if you don't have time to cook, these are the dishes. I think it's very, very easy to do. The first thing I want to show you is the 5-spice broiled pork chop. Of course, you can roast it, you can barbecue it, or you can broil it because I have a broiler here, so we're going to broil it. You can also pan fry it, or you can grill it. It doesn't make any difference whatsoever. Now here, I have 4 pieces of pork chop. This is approximately 2 pounds. Here, I am going to tenderize it a little bit. See? This is the world's oldest tenderizer. This is actually how my mother had been tenderizing. See, you can actually tenderize it with this Chinese chef knife. You see this? You can do it 2 of these, okay? Can you see how boring this is? You can fall asleep. Also, get rid of a lot of your anxiety, too. That's wonderful. Very healthy. After this, you got to marinate this. Now, very, very easy. All you have to do is marinate this in the following ingredient. You use about 1 teaspoon of salt. See? And approximately half a teaspoon of pepper. You can use black pepper or white pepper. Also use about 1/4 teaspoon of 5-spice powder. When you don't have time to cook, it's wonderful to have things already mixed for you. For instance, this 5-spice powder, like this, which is a mixture of star anise, fennel, clove, and Chinese dry tangerine peel powder. And sometimes they also put a tiny bit of 5-spice, tiny bit of, let me see, 1, 2, 3. Actually, it's more than 5. Actually, you put a tiny bit of ginger powder and also white pepper and also a tiny bit of Sichuan peppercorn powder, you see. After this is done, we are going to brush these a tiny bit with sesame seed oil, okay? This way, it gives a nice, wonderful glaze. And then we're going to grill this, okay? Very simple. Brush it, and we're going to put it over here and let it grill. Can you see that? Can you hear the sizzling sound? You should always do this ahead of time. All you have to do, you already can smell it over there? Isn't it amazing? Can you at home smell it too? Okay, look at this. This is beautiful. Okay, occasionally brush it a little bit more. This way, you don't have to worry about it. Let me remove these. And then when you are ready, all you have to do is chop this up. And then garnish this. See this? We're going to sprinkle this right on top of the pork chop and serve with Worcestershire sauce. Okay? Very, very traditional Chinese style. My mother never heard of such thing. But anyway, while we're doing this, occasionally turn them around. Look at this. Turn them around. Make sure they are not burnt. In the meantime, I'm going to show you how to do a dish. It's also a 5-minute gourmet dish. I call this onion beef, okay? To save time, we're going to turn this up, get the wok ready. Now, I will do this in 5 minutes, just to prove without the shadow of doubt, we will use one of these. Look at this. And I can actually time the darn thing. When I'm ready, I'm going to time it. Are you ready? Yes. Put it over here. First, I'm going to cut up the onion. Now, I'm running out of time. I'm going to put this knife into overdrive. Look at what you do. so glad. I still have some time. And then you marinate the beef. You marinate the beef in approximately 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of dry sherry, and about 2 teaspoons of sesame seed oil, and also a tiny bit of cornstarch. Then you get ready to cook. Here, I'm going to add approximately 1 to 2 teaspoons of oil. And then also, you need a tiny bit of garlic and ginger. Thanks a lot. See, all of this excitement kind of distract me. And also, if you have time, 5 minutes, ginger. Put it over here. And then you cook this separately. You cook the beef first, just like a date. You cook the beef and the onion separately. Give them more time to anticipate, okay? Oh, look at this. All it takes is about 1.5 minutes over medium, high heat to high heat. And then when the beef is done, you put it over here, and you put it over here, and then you cook the onion. Now, look at this. We put the onion in there. Wow, look at this. And then stir. In the meantime, you come back here and make sure this is perfectly done. Perfect. Look at this. Beautiful. My pork chop is going very well. Wow, this is hot. Look at this. 5-minute gourmet doing 2 dishes simultaneously. And then put the beef back. Look at all this sizzle. Just like match in a gourmet heaven. Look at this. And then you want to have some nice green color. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, I still have time. Unbelievable. Don't worry. And then put the sauce in, which is about 1 tablespoon of soy sauce and about 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of broth. And then put a tiny bit more soy sauce. And then you're going to thicken this up with cornstarch solution. 1 teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of cornstarch mixed with water. Okay? Put it right in the middle where the boiling liquid is. And then you can remove all these. Okay? Look at all this. This is nice and done. Can you see all this? Beautiful dish. And then I would also make sure to check this. This is also ready. Wow, this is beautiful. I'm going to serve this right over here. Serve these right over here. And then we are going to serve the beef right over our rice. Look at this. Put it all over like this. About 5 minutes. I have this, the 5 minutes gourmet have done it again. Now, one golden rule about people are too busy, don't have time to cook, is when you are in a hurry, you visit a deli. Let's rush down to Chinatown and see what we can get from a Chinese deli. The ducks are hung and dry before they are roasted. Afterwards, you see them in store windows, a common sign in every Chinatown. The Chinese serve the duck whole, with the head and everything. This symbolizes prosperity and wholeness. Besides, you don't want to waste anything. You can ask them to cut it up for you. This is perfect if you have no time to cook. Look at this one. I love duck so much. I'll get one of these every week. And I am going to cut this most delicate portion. Set it aside. I know that our stage manager, Steve, loves duck. Besides, he loves to get ahead. Here, Steve. This is for you. He said, thank you. You're welcome. I only give that to my most honored guest. Now, I want to show you quickly how easy it is to cut up the whole duck and put them all back together. You use a knife. First of all, you cut this up here. You see this? Cut this up. This is the drum stick. Cut it another one. Another drum stick. And then you hold on to the wing part. Look at this. Okay. Cut it up. Put it over here. Cut another one. Put it over here. And you have 4 pieces. The 2 wing part. And then you cut this open. Of course, you don't want to waste this, so you save these 2. This is also for Steve. Love duck. Love duck. Okay, cut this up. Cut it up. And then you know that there's a little piece of backbone here. So you cut this up because you don't want the backbone. This is the backbone right here. So you get rid of the backbone. Okay, set this aside and put it over here. And then you can cut this up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you can put the whole thing back like this. Let me show you. Put the whole thing back. Okay, put the whole thing back right here. And then, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, of course, when you do it, you should make sure you have a gigantic apron like mine. See, you put this right over here and put the whole piece of duck back like this. Look at this, the drumstick at the back and this front. And then, because Steve took my head, so what I'm going to do is I'll put this over here. Look how beautiful. Then you have a wonderful duck dish looks like this. I'm going to put it over here so everybody can see. In the meantime, we are going to set this away. We're going to get rid of these. Clean this up. It's very important when you do anything. Always make sure to clean up everything. Otherwise, it just looks messy. That's why not only I am the busiest cook in the world, I am also a clean cook. In this particular dish, we're going to make a sauce and saute some vegetable. And then use our duck that we bought from a deli to put them all together. Heat up the wok and put a tiny, tiny bit of oil right over here. Oil, see? For exercise, you should put this 2.5 miles away. So you can jog to get your oil. That's wonderful. And then we saute some vegetable here, some little baby bok choy, some carrot, okay? Saute this. Why? I am going to show you how easy it is to put the duck dish together. Look at this. You can use any pasta. You can use regular pasta, linguine, spaghetti, Chinese noodle, dry noodle, fresh noodle, wheat flour noodle, rice flour noodle, any noodle that you can find. And then you put the duck right over here. Look at how beautiful. 1 piece, 2 pieces. And then also have this. Put it right over here, okay? And then also, I want to stir fry this. And then also use a tiny bit of sesame seed oil, about 1/2 teaspoon of sesame seed oil. And also 1 teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of Shaoxing wine. Wow, unbelievable, look at this. And then you can put a tiny, tiny bit of, about 1/2 cup of broth, chicken broth. And then you can make a little sauce by thickening up with cornstarch solution. Look at this. And then put a tiny bit of, final touch, put a tiny bit of soy sauce, about a teaspoon or so. And let it cook for a few seconds. And then you shut it off, and then you can remove these because you don't need any of these. And I want to show you how beautiful. Once again, I time my thing. Now people ask, what happened if you ran out of time? It's no big deal. You need more time, turn the damn thing upside down again. Then this is how you make time. And then you put them over here. Look at this. I want to show you how beautiful you can cut this dish, okay? Get a knife. Okay. Get a piece of this vegetable. Put it right here. And then you cut it in half. And then you have 1 piece like this, another piece like this. Can you see how beautiful? And then you put a tiny bit of carrot, and you put it right over here. Look at this. Is this beautiful? Oh, what? last-minute gourmet. You can put the duck, barbecue duck, over the noodle, or you can just put it on rice. It depends. If you have rice, you can just use rice, okay? Because I love rice, so I always make sure that I have a bowl of rice. Now, in the West, you always have a saying. In order to make an omelet, first, you have to break some eggs. In China, we say, which eggs? Let me show you some of the very fascinating eggs that some of them you probably have never seen before. Look at this. Here is a regular egg. This is brown color egg. And this, I don't know how many of you know, this is not the Chinese Easter bunny egg. This is the Chinese baby birthday egg. The end of the first month after the baby was born, the Chinese parent would fix a whole bunch of these eggs and give it to their relatives and friends. This symbolizes fertility, life, and also longevity. And here is an ugly-looking thing, the Chinese salted duck egg. Basically, what it is mud and ashes, and or straw ash, and also with a whole bunch of salt. Mix them all up into a paste and coat the duck egg. And then, after 3 months, the salt penetrates through the pores of the shell, and they denature the protein in this duck egg. All of a sudden, the yolk becomes solidified. Looks like a little red ping pong ball. See, it's solid. You can actually hurt somebody with this darn thing. And then the egg yolk, the egg white become watery, okay? You have to cook this. You got to steam this, or you can put it in soup. You can't just eat it raw. Here, something very interesting. The Chinese call 1,000-year-old egg. This is actually a preserved duck egg. What it is, look at all this. This is straw. This is duck egg, water, salt, calcium oxide mixed with this, and also a tiny bit of straw ashes. This is straw. And also sodium carbonate, and also tea to give the flavor. When you cut it up, you crack the darn thing up like this. I just want to show you. Ugliest thing I have ever seen. Look at this. I am making absolutely a mess. Look at this. And then you cut it up, it looks like this. Can you see that? It is very, very interesting. This is something that Chinese call 1,000-year-old egg pei dan. Here, everybody knows this is quail egg. Can you see this little baby quail egg? This is the chicken egg, and this is the quail egg. All you have to do is put in an oven, the darn thing will shrink, and then you have quail egg, dehydrated darn thing. I have this since I was 12. It is my nest egg. Now, the next thing I want to show you is one of the very, very good dish for you people too busy to cook. I call this fouillon omelet. Everybody have heard of egg fouillon, right? Yeah. How many enjoy egg fouillon? Yeah. You can have all kinds of egg fouillon. You can have barbecue pork egg fouillon, chicken egg fouillon, shrimp egg fouillon with a lot of bean sprout, but this is very good. This is very unique egg fouillon. I call it fouillon omelet. When you have little time to cook, an omelet is perfect. You know why? Because it's easy and it's nutritious. And also, how many of you know how to make a Chinese omelet? First, you need Chinese eggs. And then you need Chinese ham. I am an expert at that subject. And then you chop this up. While you're doing that, let's heat up my frying pan, okay? Please come. Oh, finally, let there be light. Are you having fun? Oh. Chop it up. Very easy to do. The most important thing is always make sure your knife is very sharp, and not only that, the handle is very dry. If this is grease, it can be very dangerous. And you also notice that I never get exceptionally excited and to raise my knife higher to my knuckle. See, this can be very detrimental, okay? And I never have the courage to do it. And also, we're gonna do some water chestnut. See, this is how easy it is to smash this. Done. You see how easy? Another one. If you do it right, you have 100%. You don't do it right, you only have 60% left. Okay? Another way of doing it is you go like this. If you don't want the dancing fry, you see this? You just mash it like this. But without making it into a juice. Otherwise, you're going to end up making water chestnut juice. And also, cut up some bell pepper. See? Julienne pieces like this. And then, they give nice color contrast. Okay? Nice color contrast. When the oil is hot, all you have to do is remove the darn thing. Don't just let it sit there. Otherwise, not only your kitchen is going to smoke, your hair will smoke, your house will smoke, the whole house will be gone. So just remove the darn thing, okay? And you put them all together. And then, if you want, you can also use a tiny, tiny bit of mushroom. See this? Put them all together. Okay, and then we're going to crack a couple of eggs. Crack this. 1, 2. Too busy to cook, you use one hand. So you can do 2 eggs simultaneously. And then put all of these ingredients. In the meantime, I also want to show you, we're going to also put a tiny bit of, this is very unique. I use a tiny bit of salt, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, and a tiny, tiny bit of chili paste, 1/2 teaspoon, and also some white pepper, about 1/4 teaspoon. Mix them all up. This is how the Chinese use this egg beater. You see how to do it? Very easy to do. And then you can make this nice fouillon omelet. You see this? Very, very easy to do. I am going to show you, we're going to make one gigantic fouillon omelet. Look at how big this is. This is perfect for 2 people because you can, when you serve it, just slice it in half, okay? Let it sit around. In the meantime, I want to show you something very interesting. The Chinese call marble egg. It is truly, truly unique. Here, you have hard-boiled egg. You crack the darn thing up after you hard-boil it. And then you dump it into a pot of boiling water, which have tea leaf, tiny bit of soy sauce, star anise, or whatever seasoning you want to put in. You crack this. If you have a lot of egg to crack, you can crack them all at the same time, like that. See, you can do it at the same time. And then, after you soak it about half an hour, it looks like this marble. Can you see that? Very, very interesting. You see? This is also a marble. This is also my marble. Make sure to keep the darn thing in a safe place. Don't want to lose your marble. Oh, you turn the darn thing upside down. Now, it's very, very important to make sure the egg is not overcooked. Okay, turn it upside down. Wow, look at this. I was getting nervous. The darn thing might be gone. It's very, very easy to do. When it's done, you put the omelet right over here. Look at how beautiful this omelet is. You see this? And you garnish this with this, and if you want, you have time. This is what you're going to do, okay? I want to show you how easy it is to make a little flour out of these. 1, you see this? 2, see this? 3, you see this? Very easy to do. 3, 4, 5. What you have is twist this, and then you have a little flour like this. Can you see that? And of course, if you have time, you can even do this like what I just have shown you. Look at this, very easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. You push it every time you cut. You make sure you measure this precisely. And you continue to do this until you cut the darn thing up into 6,000 pieces. And it looks like this. Can you see that? Now, if you have never done this before, my recommendation is go to the store and buy 4 boxes of this apple and go and practice. I hope our show today have made you all too busy to cook people into a 5-minute gourmet. Anyone can break the 5 minutes barrier. I've been doing this for 50 years. I'm running out of time, and I gotta run. If Yan can do it in 5 minutes, so can you. Join in.